Does being compassionate mean that I have to put myself last all the time? I can't help but think others will step all over me and immediately tighten up thinking about it.
How many people have the same kind of question? As an ordinary human being, this question is a legitimate, perhaps, or common question. Yeah, but see, she or he is asking about compassion, right? So we have to know the true meaning of compassion in Buddhist context, right? The meaning, definition of compassion in Buddhism goes way much deeper than simply putting yourself last or allowing others to take advantage of you, first of all. In Buddhism, compassion is not just emotional state. It's a profound wish or aspiration. That's important to know. It's aspiration for all beings, including yourself, to be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. It's not about the self-sacrifice to the point of harm or neglecting your own well-being. Instead, it is rooted in wisdom and balance. Tumpa Rinpoche talks about idiot compassion or something like that, right? Wisdom-guided compassion, that's the key. True compassion recognizes that your own suffering matters just as much as others. When you nurture yourself, you cultivate the inner strength and the clarity needed to truly help others, don't you think? Acting out of genuine compassion does not mean allowing others to step all over you. Rather, it involves discernment, healthy boundaries, and the courage to act in ways that benefit all beings, including yourself. Let me give you some example. For example, wisdom-guided compassion might mean saying no when helping others or helping someone would harm you or perpetuate their negative behavior. So compassion sometimes requires firmness and tough love kind of things, such as guiding someone gently but firmly away from destructive actions. His Holiness often talks about this. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. So this reflects the interconnections, interdependent nature of all beings. By uplifting others, you also uplift yourself, and vice versa. Being compassionate doesn't mean erasing yourself. It means opening your heart with wisdom and balance, discernment, courage, honoring both your own well-beings and that of others. When approached this way, compassion becomes a source of strength, not weakness. Of course, it's easy to say this. But this is the place where practice comes in. For example, 5 Dakini practice. That's the perfect practice. 5 Dakini is the expression of compassion, different flavor, different expressions of the same compassion, innate goodness. Sometimes manifest as a very firm, fierce Dakinis, like a Karma Dakini holding a sword and a chop and a cut. But that's also the expression of compassion. And for example, the Buddha Dakini, very calm and soothing. Of course, that is the all-encompassing compassion, expression of compassion. If we follow the natural human ordinary thinking, way of thinking, this kind of question arises. But this is how I respond to this question. We are innately compassionate, all human beings. Innate goodness we have. We are compassionate beings. However, we are covered up by all these veils and obscurations, right? I can say one more thing about this question. What is compassion? Not idiot compassion, but compassionate thing. What do you think real compassion is? Compassion to yourself. What's the most compassionate things to do to yourself in your context as well as in the Buddhist context?
Would it be for myself? Well, I would say to love myself, and then in the Buddhist context would be to end the suffering of all sentient beings.
How about just practicing the Dharma, having the compassion to slow down, sit on the cushion, meditate, study. I mean, if we're gonna wake up all sentient beings, right, we're gonna have to have a basis for that.
Yeah, maybe sometimes compassion for oneself is actually just taking on, like, going the more difficult path, because sometimes what needs to be done is not going to be like super, it's going to be more long-term benefit instead of short-term benefit.
Very nice. Yeah, it's touching. Even think about Great Lama tells us if there are the two paths, easier one and the difficult one, which one would you choose? Then we take the difficult one. There was a movie, something like that, and I was really moved. Oh, that's the Dharma way. So self-compassion in the Buddhist context is recognizing one's own suffering in a deeper level, really, really deeper level. We have to acknowledge the pain we face, then determine to be free from it. It's called renunciation. That is the real meaning of self-compassion in Buddhism. Based on that, we can understand the suffering, pain of others. Then, first time, our heart genuinely open. Without the self-compassion, our heart is superficially open. Yeah, it doesn't come from this deep understanding of this conditioned world where we live. Renunciation is, I translated, determination to be free. Based on this reality check, fact check. I've been there, I've done that. Then I take this, I jump off the cliff. That's how I say. If there are two ways, just stay this same old, and then just do this, whatever I've been doing. Or I take another route. That is a journey to freedom. That I call the jump off the cliff, comfortable zone. But in a way, renunciation is most free. It's called freedom, right? It's determined to be free. That's the beginning of the journey. Beginning of the journey called Dharma journey. So basis of everything. So this question of compassion is very good question, insightful question, I think.